A lot of you have been looking for safer makeup and like sunscreen and stuff that you use every day, or you've been avoiding makeup because you know it contains a bunch of like endocrine disruptors and chemicals that can even cause your skin to break out and all different stuff that affects everything you're trying to heal. That's why you're gonna love Beautycounter. So today I'm gonna share with you what I use just as my regular makeup, which is what I'm wearing in the videos most of the time. You can see plenty of my videos of what my skin looks like without makeup. I do like pretty much everything I record with my iPhone. I don't have a lot of makeup on or any makeup on. So you can see that this stuff doesn't make you break out. So that's kind of the problem with over-the-counter, drugstore, or like high-end makeup that has a bunch of different chemicals in it, is it can make your skin actually worse. And that's what I love about Beautycounter, is like I can even fall asleep in this stuff and it doesn't bother me at all. I don't wake up broken out at all. So the first thing is sunscreen, and I have all of their different kinds of sunscreen. So they have a stick, they have a lotion, and a spray. This is the one I keep at the house. The other ones I keep on the boat, on the raft that we take out pretty often. And when you're eating a healthy diet with healthy fats, a lot of times you're going to need a lot less sunscreen because your body like is able to protect its skin a lot better. But when we go from being like super clothed in Montana to the sun coming out and being out like super bright up at a high elevation where the air is thin and the sun is just like beating down on us on the water, we definitely use sunscreen. Beautycounter sunscreen is not only safe for humans, it's also safe for the ocean. So like there's a bunch of different chemicals in sunscreen that just flat out aren't allowed in Hawaii anymore, but are sold in drugstores across the continental US. And so this is safe for humans and our sea friends. This is sunscreen from Beautycounter is like pretty much the main reason most people start buying Beautycounter, and then like you just end up falling in love with their products, which is what I did. And so next is cleansing balm. I thought this was super overhyped, and it's not. So I'm addicted to it. I got it as a sample. And if I have samples, like you can email me. Sometimes I do have samples of these that I can send out to you if you want to try it. But I use this as both a moisturizer in our like super dry, super cold, like windy where it chaps your cheeks weather in the winter. This is like the only thing that helps. And then I also use it as a cleanser. And so it's kind of like an oil cleanser, only without using the different oils, and it smells delicious. For my daughter, which a lot of you guys know that I have a daughter with developmental delays, and so her fine and gross motor skills have some just delays in them, but she's also 12 and she's a preteen and she needs to start washing her face every day. Like she started getting acne, even though her diet's super clean, she started getting acne. I tried using a gentle cleanser with her and I ended up switching her over to this cleansing balm because it is oil based. If she doesn't rinse it all the way off, like with a soap based thing or like a foamy thing, you need, or like a detergent-y thing, you need to rinse all that soap off or it's going to make you break out more. Well, that's hard for her and we're trying to get her as independent as possible. So she uses the cleansing balm. Like we just use a tiny little bit, and she gets her face wet, and this is the same way I do it. So we do it together after dinner, is we get our faces wet and then we use a little bit and we rub it around really well into our whole face. And then we use a damp washcloth that we wet with warm water to wipe it off. And that's so much easier for her than trying to rinse off the foamy soap. And honestly, it's easier for me too. It doesn't like end up all in my hairline and stuff too. So cleansing balm, great makeup remover, great moisturizer, great cleanser. It's just like, this thing lasts, I don't know, I think I buy one every 6 or 8 months. So it does last a long time. It'll last a little bit less long since now she's using it, and this is something we've been doing for the past month or so. But these do last a long time. I seriously cannot get over how much I love this cleansing balm, and I'm normally not a cleanser or a lotioner person. The only other skincare thing from them that I use regularly is the overnight resurfacing peel. And this is really the only skincare thing that I use regularly at all. I do use Burt's Bees lotion because it's less expensive and I'm fine with the ingredients on my body when I need it. But Beautycounter cleansing balm is pretty much all I use for my face. So the overnight resurfacing peel I use every like 3 or 4 days or once a week or sometimes every few weeks depending on if I forget about it. But what you do is you wash your face and then you put it on your clean face and then you cover it up with lotion, and then again I use the cleansing balm, and then you sleep overnight, and then in the morning when you wash your face, like it feels so much smoother. It feels like baby smooth. And so I use this not only on my face, I like go down behind my ears and I go to my shoulders. and I do the backs of my hands. Like, I don't know, I remember my mom always talking about liver spots. I don't know what it is, but I was starting to get like age marks on the backs of my hands, and so I used this on the backs of my hands and they totally went away. And so it smooths out your skin. It's like, it's a little tingly when you put it on. It's maybe not the best smelling thing that Beautycounter has, but it works super well, and it's not made with a bunch of gross ingredients that are gonna like cause harm to your skin or endocrine disruptors or anything like that. You can check out Beautycounter's Never List. They have this Never List of stuff that's in common cosmetics that they never use because it's known to be harmful. And so like, I love Beautycounter. I love that they are not only providing products that work, but they are also like doing all the fact checking for me, so I don't have to look at the ingredients on every single thing I buy every single time. I just know they're not gonna put bad stuff in here. So overnight resurfacing peel, definitely a bonus, definitely not an essential, but definitely I love it. And then next is makeup from Beautycounter, and I was wanting stuff that wasn't super toxic, that wasn't super like unnatural looking, but still like that covered well. And that's where Beautycounter has this called Flawless in 5. It's an all-in-one kit, and you kind of tell them your skin tone and you tell them what your preferences are, and they just put together this little kit, and it's at a discount. Click down below and I'll link right to it for you. And so in that kit, you can choose either Tint Skin foundation, and so that's what I'm wearing right now, and it covers most of my freckles if I wear it straight. I usually mix it with a little bit of lotion, and then because I don't like quite that much coverage. Or you can Dew Skin, which is a light SPF, and this is a lot what I'll wear on the boat. Like, this is really, I think it's SPF like, oh, it's 20. And that's plenty for me, and I do wear that because I've noticed that I'm getting like those spots on my face. And so during the summer when we're gonna be out in the sun all day, I typically love the sun, and I love getting tan, and I love absorbing that sun, but I do need a little more protection now that I'm getting older. So you can choose either more coverage, which is Tint Skin. Sorry, I have to keep looking at the things, I don't know the names. Or Dew Skin is less coverage. It's more of like a tinted moisturizer slash SPF. And if you want the SPF and more coverage, which you do, and I do this a lot too, is you just mix the two. And so I'll just put like 1 pump of this in my hand and then a little tiny squirt of this, mix it in my fingers, and there you go. I do have another video, and I'll link to that down below, and hopefully at the end of this video, if I remember, of how I use Flawless in 5. And so you can see the whole process. I don't use makeup brushes or anything. So let's see, after that, oh, I didn't bring my brush in. So this comes with Flawless in 5 too. It's blush, which I already have. If you look in my videos where I'm not wearing makeup, my cheeks are naturally pretty red. But it looks really unnatural if I cover up all that red and I don't add blush back in. I kind of look like I'm sick. And so I thought I never needed blush, but I really like how I look with a little bit of blush on my cheeks. This is in that Flawless in 5 as well. They have concealer, which is just a brush. I just use that right under my eyes. If I cut out dairy, I don't have circles on my eyes. I don't always cut out dairy, so sometimes I use the concealer pen. So I use that right before foundation. And then with Flawless in 5 comes a brow pencil. Again, another thing is I have dark brows. I thought I didn't need a brow pencil. It really just evens it out and kind of gives you a polished look. I added an eye pencil as well, which you can click the link down below. Just to define, like I just do it right along my eyelashes, top and bottom, and it just defines your eyes a little bit more, brightens them up. I have kind of smaller eyes, and so having that definition helps them not look so small. Then I also added highlighter. I think that's what it's called, is highlighter. It's like this stick, it's like pearl. I love this. And so this was like an addition that I added later. I think it was on sale for the holidays or something. And it's lasted well over 6 months now, and I'm not even close to being done with it. But I add that right up here. And a lot of times people say like, oh, you look like you're glowing. It's the highlighter. So like eating well definitely is good for my skin, and it's good for my mood, and I'm super happy and I feel really well nourished, but also I'm cheating. And so this little highlighter is something that just kind of adds that glow just a little bit. It's not sparkly like my daughter would use, but it adds a little bit of glow that really brightens up your face and just makes everything come together and look shiny and glowy. So that's what I use from Beautycounter. If you've been looking for safer beauty and you kind of want a one-stop shop and you don't want to have to compare 800 different products, definitely recommend Beautycounter. Not everything's perfect. You can find stuff that maybe is less than ideal. It's good enough for me, and that's where I kind of do the 80-20 principle. And so you're gonna love Beautycounter. They've checked all of these like never ingredients that they don't allow because they're known carcinogens, they're known endocrine disruptors, they're all the stuff you don't want to be putting on your body. But then they make stuff that really works, and that's really 9/10 of the battle. Like if you buy all this natural, perfectly organic makeup and it clumps and it doesn't work and it melts off your face, like why bother? So this stuff works. I can apply it in less than 5 minutes in the morning, and it's something that I feel comfortable even putting on my daughter. So I encourage you to check it out below, and if you want to see how I apply this, I'll link to that video over there. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll talk to you later.